months ago, there was discussion about being open in your dating preferences. And I say this as someone who used to be so strict, so hell-bent on I have to marry an Igbo man. And then with time, I was like, oh, I have to marry a Nigerian man. I don't care what tribe. And then with time, it was like, I have to marry a West African man. And with time, it was like, I have to marry a Black man. And now, I remain open, but also I am very honest with the fact that Black men / West African men are the only men who approach me. In fact, in my dating history, I've only dated West African men. I will say that I dated a Jamaican man. It was very brief. Honestly, we shouldn't even classify it as dating. It was so brief. But for the most part, the totality of my dating history is West African men. And one of my good guy friends was telling me you should remain open, and the person that you're looking for, go where you're accepted. And I was like, oh, absolutely. However, I gave him the data point that when I was on the dating apps, and even when I would put all preferences open to all, the only people who would match with me or express interest were Black men. And touching back on something that I had mentioned briefly earlier was that when I was saying, oh, I can only marry a Nigerian man, I was like, I'm not tribalist. I will marry anybody. I've even told my Igbo tutor, like, I'm learning this language and I might not marry an Igbo man, and that's completely okay. I even joke and I was like, listen, he can learn how to speak Igbo too. Like, we can speak whatever languages to the children. Our children will be polyglots. Like, I don't have to restrict myself and be learning this language with the hopes of marrying an Igbo man. So I'm very open-minded in that sense, and I know a lot of people are not. Like, they follow the values and traditions of their parents, and they only want to marry who their parents want them to marry, or they're trying to preserve culture and tradition. But at the end of the day, like, a Nigerian man is a Nigerian man. Like, not to overly simplify it, but I think I'm not tribalist is what I'm trying to say. I am open to a certain degree. As in, I'm not doing the emotional labor of teaching you about history. I'm not doing the emotional labor of, you don't like my food and you don't want to eat my food. Like, I joke, I was born here, but I'm a village babe to my core. I have no tolerance for, oh, I don't want your food stinks, or I don't like it. No. I have no tolerance. I'm very flexible with a lot of things, but I'm very rigid on certain things. Like, I'm not willing to budge, and I think that is okay. Go where you're wanted and accepted and loved. However, do not settle, do not compromise yourself just because somebody gave you attention. You're like, oh, I have to marry them because they gave me attention.